Welcome, everybody, to Generation Dan, the only show that is a locomotive and a steam engine and a tiger shark and, and a horse. I'm Matt Liz Novak. I'm your millennial. Who else is here with me?
I'm Dean of the Genetic Marvel, and my favorite thing was a wooden circle with a stick, and we'd run down the street. No, it's fine. There's a certain amount of information that you will steal from the universe before puberty. And this structures your entire personality eventually, right? And then puberty happens and everything goes to shit for like 10 years.
Yeah, well, because when you get to puberty, all of a sudden you start caring about what your peers think of you. So, like, an interest that you have,
Victoria says good afternoon. Jim Eaton says good afternoon. Good afternoon, Jim. Good afternoon, Victoria. Joey says, "Do not forget to subscribe to Next at Night, the trading card channel." That's right.
Fuck you, Joey. Wait, where is he? I can't see him in the comments.
I don't see. He had added it before in advance, before we even started. But on that note, you can send us money. You can subscribe to all of our channels. You should do all that stuff, everybody.
We should probably start a Patreon or something if we're going to be doing this kind of thing.
Why not? Listen, realistically, I've been thinking about that. Anyways, there's a lot of things that you do. I would say probably everything you do before the age of 12 has potential to be on this list of Tism topics, because you just buckle down. I think at some point your parents are just like, I'm just happy you can read. Just whatever you want. It's fine. Just go learn shit, you know?
The title of this episode comes from my lovely wife, Katie, and it's one of those things where, as we're doing this, I really wish Nina Dicker was here. She would be perfect for this. We should have asked Nina. We're talking about the things that you're into as a little kid, where like you are down there with your trains or your sharks or your dinosaurs or whatever, and then an adult comes and goes, "What are you doing there, sport?" And you like spout some unhinged, hyper specific thing. Correct. And you're like, that kid's probably on the spectrum. They're not. But it's a little weird to see a 5-year-old be like, the funnel web spider can kill you with one bite in 20 minutes as the venom. First you get aches and pains, and then you start to sweat, and then you turn blue and froth at the mouth. Death follows if you don't get an antivenom in time. And you're like, can you
read? Elio.
Kind of.
Yeah. Only with my mind. April 14th is my 65th birthday. I will be at the dime. April 14th,
that's also the day that LAUSD is doing the teacher's strike. So
fun. Then it's a perfect day for you to go have shenanigans. It's only reasonable.
Jim. Go say hi to Jim.
Yeah, well, listen, come on. If anyone knows how to have shenanigans, it's Jim. That's only fair. How is my day going? Our days are going great. We're talking about what's your Tism topic, everyone? So feel free to chime in. What is it? You know what is that topic when someone brings up in public and acts like they know shit, that you're like, I'm gonna school you so hard, and you just like out of nowhere, like a thief in the night, destroy their entire
either that, or it's the thing that your kid is way too into. Now, we don't mean like an animal. Like, we've talked about this on the show before, where it's like, oh, you get associated with an animal, and then if your relatives don't know what to get you for a gift, they get you something with that animal.
Yep.
Wiener dogs. Katie has hippos. My sister has horses. That kind of thing. We don't
wild information. That. You know, hippos are only like 10% body fat. The rest of it, just massive amounts of muscle and spite. Dogs. I know a lot of people who know too much about dogs, and it always weirds me out. That's
So I guess I'll start us off here. So my first fandom, like the very first thing I remember being a fan of, was Thomas the Tank Engine and trains in general, but Thomas the Tank Engine, because we had a little like set where it was the wooden tracks and you stick them together, and the trains had magnets where you could stick all the little like the caboose and all that stuff into whatever train you wanted. And I didn't know when I was 3 years old watching this that it was either the drummer from the Beatles or George Carlin narrating. Like, I didn't know who these people were. Yeah. Trains get associated with autistic people now. Here. Oh no, she's
see, but everyone, listen. This is the thing: is what people don't understand, and I try and encourage people. When you've seen neck hurt, that's your. That's funny. Yeah. When they say they know everyone, that's also some. Oh, this person's getting weird. Do you go? No, why would you? Anyone do that, weirdo?
Delete their ass.
There you go. Time out. Time out for your inappropriate shenanigans. We're asking people what are their Tism topics. Yeah. So this is the thing. I grew up in a machine shop. So big machines, always I see them and I'm like,
oh, like the dump truck. Yeah. Right? The kid has the dump truck or the fucking like drills and that kind of thing.
Oh yeah. So like moving parts and stuff like that have always been, and also like if you take me to like a construction zone or anything, I just start looking at big stuff and I'm like, how does it work? I want to see it. And they're like, oh, this separates steel from matter. And I'm like, turn it on. I want to shoot something. Like it's always, it's one of those things where like, and this is the thing is trains specifically, new trains suck shit. Okay. And that's a direct dig on the coolness of old trains, and the new ones who look sleek, they suck. Okay.
I don't know. A bullet train looks pretty fucking cool. Like
a bullet train is a whole other universe. Let's just start there. Okay. Versus like an old school train, man, like a steam engine. If you ever seen a steam engine do anything, coolest thing you've ever seen. It is honestly one of those wild things that,
the fact that nuclear power is also a steam engine, where they're like, we split the atom, and instead of like, oh, that moves the thing, no, that just boils some water.
Yeah.
And then turns it to water.
And everything else. So someone keeps on spamming the chat with ridiculousness, but hey, you know what? Go live your life. I encourage you.
Block the other.
See, this is the thing is too, like when you see, I think that is a like I knew guys that ran massive machinery. I knew one guy, it was his uncle-in-law was one of the only guys that could run the snow removal machine, which is like, it's basically like 4 tanks. It's humongous, but essentially it sucks it in, turns it, and just melts everything and turns into water and spews it out down the sewer. But it's when there's too much snow and you just have to get rid of it as opposed to find places to put it. But he was like the only guy that could drive it in like the eastern seaboard. So he would get flown to New York, and they would, like cool stuff like that. But also like he was
like, we need you to remove mass amounts of snow. That sounds like such a fun job, depending on
really absolutely. The funniest part was he was like 2 feet tall, maybe 120 pounds soaking wet, and had glasses that rivaled the bottom of a Coke bottle. And he's like, I'm the guy. And you're like, you're not the guy for anything. But this was his thing, and he fucking did it. So
on Hey Arnold, the guy who was a demolition dude was really short, like the short bald guy that lived in Arnold's apartment or whatever.
Hey, short kings have their place in the world, and I think they're unsung heroes. They are still very. I do that for my job. I use giant trucks that are like 75 Okay, so this is one of those things where I'm like, I like being able to drive anything. Like that's like people are like, oh, but have you like, I can drive anything, but I'm like, yeah, you just need to explain it to me and I'll figure it out. Like it just gives you time. And that's why like people are like tank. I'm like, oh, I can figure out a tank. Helicopter. I'm like, yeah, I'm like, I know just enough science that I could figure out the controls, but not enough to actually be good at anything. It's a weird world I live in, but yeah.
I wonder if like, so I was asking my sister-in-law and my sister and Katie, like what's yours? Because for boys, a lot of it is like building and destroying stuff.
Yes.
Legos, blocks, that kind of thing, moving things. And my sister-in-law goes, well, first I asked about my nephews because this is a show about generations. So I was thinking, what does our next generation into? And she said, for one of my nephews, it was dinosaurs, and the other one went through a bunch of them, but didn't say what it was. And then I go, what about you? And she goes, pink. I'm like, pink what? Just pink, the color pink. Anything pink. I assume.
I get it.
Barbie, that kind of thing. Dolls.
Yeah, I mean, like, but listen, that's it. It's colors. I knew somebody was into shapes. I knew people that were into weird stuff too. Can you drive a non-synchronized transmission with split axle? No, but I could learn. Hey, if you give me 20 minutes with someone who knows how to drive it, I can learn. I can drive. I'll figure it out. I'm very handy in, if you can explain to me how something works, I can extrapolate what it can do. I'm good at that. But the problem is that people are like, I don't trust you with anything. And I'm like, yeah, that's also fair. That's pretty reasonable because I have, nothing in the game. But I don't know that, like, even my dad, the first couple houses that we bought because we moved outside of the city and we were in the suburbs. And when we moved there was no highway even. Like, it was just country roads. So, like, he liked where it was because you could hear the train in the middle of the night just passing through. And you hear like a woo woo, like a full like it was, and there was always like, he was like, just loved hearing it. So
when I went to UC Riverside, you could hear that too, and now it does make me a little sleepy because you would fall asleep to the sound of the distant like train whistle, going across the horizon. Non-synchronized transmissions have to have the RPMs going at the correct speed to work, so it needs to be moving. So
that just means what you have to have the RPMs at a certain spot to switch gears. So it has a much more controlled situation, and it's not as loosey goosey as a normal car. Mm-hmm. Like a normal car, you could do it everything. You're just gonna damage something. I've learned how to drive trains. That's fine. I mean,
that's pretty awesome.
There's forward and then there's backward. I mean, it's pretty simple, but have you actually, you know what? And my wife she makes fun of me because there's a movie called Unstoppable with Chris Pine and Denzel Washington about a runaway train. It's based on a real story. If you have not seen it, watch it, because it is all trains all the time, but it's also like the science of the train and like the physics of trains and stuff. Like, it's very nerdy, but at the same time I watch it and I'm like, oh, fucking cool, because trains,
Damn. It was the last film Scott directed before his death in 2012. Tony Scott.
I don't know who Tony Scott is.
I don't know who he is either, but that's still really cool.
Still very
he did Top Gun. He did True Romance. He did Man on Fire.
Damn.
Those are the
Man on Fire. Man on Fire is also awesome movie. Yeah, I learned how to drive. A Subway is actually, it's actually got some nuance to it too. I've heard that. Streetcars as well, because it's all the bad parts of a train and all the bad parts of a car put together to make a horrible experience, that's a streetcar, just so everyone knows.
Being on a streetcar is kind of nice, but like driving it, I imagine, is a different experience.
The only awesome part about a streetcar is being on the streetcar. It's so cool. Everything else related to it sucks dog shit. That's just everyone.
My mechanic is at the end of the block from me, and about once a year, you know how like your mechanic will be like, okay, we're just gonna park the cars where they fit. So they have like their little parking lot, and it sort of spills out wherever they have it. So down the block from them, around summertime, they'll always get a big fucking streetcar that used to be part of the Pacific Electric rail line. And it turns out it belongs to this rich guy who bought one just for funsies. And whenever they like a play will put on like Streetcar Named Desire or Waiting for Godot or something, they rent it from him. So this mechanic makes sure it's working, like, so you can drive.
See, also cool. At the same time, if you had that money enough to buy it, you would have money enough to make a train track going around the perimeter of your property. And every once in a while, just go around, have your cup of coffee, driving around, looking at people. It's my streetcar. You ain't got the fare for it, sons of bitches.
It's like it's like that episode of Bob's Burgers where they go to the little Christmas village and they're riding the train around the perimeter and like doing the tricks. It's a more modern one.
It's very fun.
Yeah. So trains were a big one. The funnel web spider quote that I said at the beginning, that was almost word for word from this little book that I had about like the world's most dangerous and poisonous animals. So it's got like the tiger shark in there, that spider, and all that stuff. And there's something when you're a little kid about learning about gruesome death that is interesting.
Yeah.
And I think it's because all like the things that your parents read you and like your kindergarten teachers read you is supposed to be like lessons learned about how to behave. And this one is nature doesn't fucking behave.
Yeah, and nature's not. I mean, you know what? I'll be honest with you. That's a great book. That's the kid's book you should write. Is Nature Doesn't Behave? Just right there. Nature Doesn't Behave, and go from there. Hey, anyone who copies that, trademark, that's ours. You can't do it. Just an FYI.
I wonder if I can go find it again, because I had one of those, and I had a picture book called Great White Shark, Ruler of the Sea that came with an audiobook, although I lost the audiobook almost immediately. And
also,
when
that
it shows,
is completely false, but yeah.
and it shows like a great white shark over the course of their life, from when they're born to like when they have, make new sharks. And there's like these horrible, like gruesome paintings, because they're paintings of them like they catch a tuna for dinner, and it's like the full carcass of the tuna getting bent in half and shit. And it's like, I'm 6 and this is awesome.
Hey, so that is much similar. We got the Time Life nature series on VHS.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, one of the first ones was Ocean Life, and you got to see whales kick seals with their tail through the sky, because they like tenderizing the seals before they eat them. So they go under the seal, flick it with their tail, and you see a seal go through the sky. Jeez. And then the killer whales catch it. You see, and the next one was like, what's happening in the jungle? I'll tell you what, monkeys hunting monkeys and then eating them while the little monkey is screaming for its life. It is traumatic as hell. Yeah. Oh yeah. It was the absolute brutality of it, because it was National Geographic, which like we had National Geographic. Okay. So back in the day, there was this magazine called National Geographic, and it would tell you about the crazy shit happening all over the world. Okay. These were actual reporters, and they would take pictures. And if you remember, there was one chick of a young girl with like a little thing, and she had these really piercing eyes, and she was like sideways looking, and they followed up with her. Her life fell apart. It was horrible. But despite that, that was your only real access to nature in suburbia, right? Otherwise, like, oh, that was a vacation plan. Like, otherwise, you would just see nature. Like, we had the luxury of, like, we traveled a lot. Like, we would go to Dominican and Cancun and places like that. And we would always go on tours that would take you into nature. And my dad would be like, this is good for you. And I'm like, is it good for you? He's like, no, I hated this. This is the worst. He did not like lizards or snakes. He hated lizards and snakes. It was the funniest shit ever. But you don't know. And then that's the thing is, it's just one thing. And you're like, oh, I'm interested in that. It's funny because you'd think that they would base more education on that. Is that, hey, expose them to as much shit as possible, and whatever they gravitate towards, good. That's going to be your job. Because you love it, good. Figure it out. Someone who loves animals, great. Have them in a zoo. It makes a lot more sense. It is very unprofitable to run the universe that way, but everything.
Also, like, so you get that comes very close to like The Giver, the dystopia book, where it's like you show promise in this. We're giving you this job. It's a little
perfect. That is what this world needs, instead of a bunch of people who are doing weird shit.
That's but like my younger nephew, he's really good at like taking care of people and animals. Like anytime he comes over, he's like, "Can I feed Pumpkin?" Or they have a dog and 2 cats, and he's like the one taking care of them a bunch, and they're like, "Oh, he's gonna be a vet when he gets older," and maybe
that's not a vet is not the job you want to love animals. I'll tell you that, because you don't see the good stuff. You see the horrid stuff. It's not. Don't be a vet. Be I don't know if you like animals. Be like a horse trainer or breeder or something like that. That'd be worthwhile. Because I'll tell you, that's the other thing, is that doing what you love seldom is profitable, right? That's I think one of the bigger problems in the universe. That's like, because realistically, you should be able to do any job and make a living, That's like that's one thing that I've always believed in. I'm like, if you put in 40 hours a week, you should make 40 hours worth of, like, you should be making good money. Whatever it is. It doesn't, like, I'm not saying that, oh, we should all have Ferraris. No, that's crazy. But we should all be able to afford our own car. We should all be able to afford whatever groceries we want. Like, you shouldn't, if you work 40 hours a week, you should be able to survive, right? That's only fair. That's enough of your.
I think I found the book, Tiger Sharks and Other Dangerous Animals. And this came out in January 1998, which totally lines up to like when I would have learned to read. That would have been like brand spanking new at the time. So part of me wants to order it on Amazon and see if it's the same thing or if because like I remember the shark being posed a certain way where it's like curled around and coming at you. I don't know. Part of me wants to go hunt this book down again just so I can, because I remember that funnel web spider quote, like, in there.
I feel like the list was a little bit indulgent, but you know that the funnel web spider only needs one bite, and your life is over as you know it.
I was going like 70% Daffy Duck.
Oh yeah, that's fair. I feel like what are some that has stuck with you the whole time? What it like that like you try and not involve in your daily conversation, but as soon as you wait for other people to start talking about it, and then that's permission, and then you're like, all right.
I feel like it's a form of masking, the autism masking, where you're like, I'm trying to be as normal as possible, and where anything history related. And because I'm good with remembering specific years and stuff like that. So sometimes I'll intentionally get the number wrong and then do the right number. World War I, was that 1913? No, 1914 when it started, that kind of thing. Just to seem more normal. But yeah, history as I've gotten older, like I'm reading a lot about the Renaissance and specifically like paper, how like going from papyrus to like the sheets of like lambskin was in a lot of Europe. So books were really, really rare.
I believe if you look it up, it's called vellum. Maybe you should read a book there.
And then they, in like the 1400s, they came up with like sort of paper as we know it, where it was like old fabric or parchment, and it wasn't really that popular for a long time until we got the printing press, and they're like, oh, we can pump out the ink really fast, we got to put it on some stuff. Like,
well, I think what a lot of people don't realize was that the majority of so there's twofold. Is the reason why most of written history books are somehow religious is because the only people who could afford to have 70 people duplicating by hand was church, right? To do it by your own person was that's why it was usually a memoir that somebody wrote, or poems that someone like, I wrote this is my journal that I wrote, and someone else has taken it and then proceeded to mass produce it. Like that's why like it wasn't a thing. Like there was remember there's entire tribes of Israel that were just scribes. Like that was their entire, all men, women, children, babies learn how to copy whatever that fucker did and do it exactly the same. Otherwise you get the lash. Like,
and like in like Italy in the like early 1500s, you had like Florence, Venice, like the big trading cities had like a 90% male literacy rate because so much commerce was going through those cities that it's like, you need to learn how to read a fucking ledger. Asshole. So like that's how they become literate, is for business.
100%.
And then you get people like the various artists and Machiavelli and Dante and all them, like who do something different out of it.
And like that's the thing, is there's a lot of information that has been I don't want to say abandoned, but lost to the annals of time just because you couldn't afford to write it down, right? Like that was, people chiseled stuff in things because, hey, you know what, I can't write a million of things, but I can make it so nobody can change it on this fucking rock, and you can come see my rock and you can figure out all this shit that I did, right? Like, it's very weird when you get into history and how, like, and even I think about it, like, being able to broadcast on TV was such a massive undertaking. And we all, I'm not sure if you remember public access, but like that was a huge thing, but it would still require a lot of funds that needed to be garnered from your own resources to be able to access that stuff, even though it was meant to be accessible. And now you have the internet, which has essentially made everyone with a webcam or just a cell phone, forget about a computer, can do everything that a thing can do, a TV station, which is insane, right? But that then you get the good with the bad,
right? First book that was loaded onto a tablet from a cloud. Fuck you, Jim. And
the old jokes are always good.
Yeah, no, Jim's got jokes. But do you see how like we went down that rabbit hole completely, and we're talking about paper? Who the fuck cares about paper? Tism topic. History.
100%. That's one of those things though, like where it's all Al Gore invented the internet. He didn't. Erwin, we all know the lies that Mr. Gore has spewed. I don't know. It's always thinking, like, for me it was comic books. I loved comic books, like, and I knew about
that's a lot of kids' first like characters.
Yeah. And then like the lore behind G.I. Joe and Thundercats, Silverhawks, Transformers, all that kind of stuff.
Those 80s TV shows. I had that same relationship, but with Avatar.
Thankfully, some of those things have just disappeared in my life. I never have to worry about them ever again. They don't loom ever continuously in my forefront of my thoughts. But whatever.
That's one of the things I love about Gen X and millennials is that we kind of kept our childhoods when it comes to just our aesthetic and the things we enjoy. Because I remember being a kid and asking my parents, what were you into when you were a kid? And the house didn't look like somebody who enjoyed those things at some point. And they were like, my dad being like Marvel comics, and my mom, I don't know about my mom, actually. I need to ask her. I'm having lunch with her on Monday. I'll get back to you guys on that. But it just kind of didn't show up in their taste. And then here I am in my 30s, and our living room has we have this one corner that's like the nerd corner. So Pokemon figures, a couple of Katie's Barbies, a VHS copy of American Graffiti that one of my film study students gave me for some reason. It's very nice.
Sure, why not?
And like that's just there as part of the decoration, even though Pokemon was very much a big part of my childhood, and it's been around long enough where millennials are teaching their kids about the same fandom, which is very funny to me. I feel like that's a more new concept because things come and go. And it's like this generation likes this generation likes this. Pokemon has been around for so long that millennials kids are now into Pokemon. That's nuts.
I have a funny, I guess correlative thought is that like back in the day, you would see your parental figure would be doing their job day in, day out. But the thing is like, and like I think about this is like, say a metal worker was also a good metal worker, at least was also some level of scientist who was experimenting with compositions and foldings and heats and all those and coolings and all those kind of things, right? So like your work also had to be your hobby because that differentiated you as a person, as a tradesperson, and so on. So like you would share the interesting knowledge with your children so they could learn and continue on. And you're like, the trade that you're passing down is your skills as a Pokemon trainer. Like that's really what it is, right? It's not, we're talking about Tism topics.
And like, well, because I'm trying to think about that. My parents were in medicine, and that's not really something where, they're not like forcing us to go into med school. Like someday you will take up the mantle of doctor or nurse.
Right.
They did teach me a lot of like just the way the human body works when it comes to like, little childhood injuries and stuff, which have helped me navigate the medical system very well.
And then, like, let's be honest, that's knowledge that they were privy to because of their existence and that what focused on their whole life, right? So it's like, even regardless of what your profession is, you've still benefited from their knowledge of due to their existence, right? Pokemon cards market is oversaturated with fake cards.
I think so.
I believe it. I never collected Pokemon cards because
I was more of the figures. I played the games and I had the figures, and I didn't do the cards really. And or like, for example, I know that between Tylenol and Advil, or ibuprofen and acetaminophen, those are the generics, that one is hard on the liver and the other's hard on the kidneys. And like, if you have this or that, like, I probably wouldn't have known that unless I had a liver or kidney thing. But I remember being a kid and being like, can I have more Advil when I'm, a really bad headache or something? My mom's like, you can't, this is the most you can have in a day. We can do Tylenol because it's affecting a different organ.
Right.
And like, that was just part of the knowledge that they're passing down.
Yeah. But it helps you understand. I know how the human body works. I eat and I poop. See, this is the question, though. If you stop pooping, what happens? Also, what if you stop eating and then keep on pooping? What do you do? That's interesting knowledge, right? Because I'll tell you,
do that. It's called colonoscopy prep.
Listen, someone who fasts regularly, I will not eat and continue to poop for like 2 days. So trust me. There's a backlog that understanding how your body works.
Literally, I'm sure.
Pun intended.
Yeah. I remember being interested in the human body mostly because of the Magic School Bus. Like the episodes where they're like, we're going to shrink down and go into somebody's body.
Urethra.
It was what? No, it was like their digestive system or something, which is really weird. Because they
ends up at the urethra.
Yeah. They start like in the esophagus and they go pretty deep into the large intestine, and they're like, why is it getting drier? And like, you can see poop on the walls, and they're like, we should stop. And I'm like, yeah, we should.
Yeah, this is where it ends, everyone. Ask your parents for more details. Yeah,
seatbelts, everyone. We're going to Arnold's asshole. Or I think it was Ralphie. I can't remember which kid they went into.
I remember weirdly, like, when I would start learning about stuff and I would start getting interested in stuff, and I'd be like, okay, hold on. What do I need to become proficient in this as a career? What do I have to do? And then you have to go do this course and you have to do this. It's gonna be 10 years of, I'm good. Thank you. And I just walk away. I'm like, I'm interested in that. I'm not interested in spending 10 years doing whatever. Right. Want to never have a poop problem. Raw almonds every day. I don't know. I'll tell you right now.
You need more fiber just as a society. Yeah.
I have been looking at some stuff it's psyllium husk is apparently really good fiber. I've been increasing my fiber intake regularly, and it means I've been pooping all the time. But my thing is, I can't spend all day on the crapper, people. I have to be productive in some level. That's why my wife doesn't make me smoothies anymore, because she makes smoothies with spinach and berries and bananas, and then you spend half your day on the toilet, which I'll tell you is also a thing. Like, now I've started to learn about diet and calories and how the body works and how it digests and all these kind of things, which I'll tell you is very, very useful information. However, there's so much dog shit information out there. If you eat your breads first and then you eat your protein, you're going, okay, whatever. You know what?
11 servings of bread. Really? 11? It's a little much, guys.
It's not even that. Like, the one cool thing is right now is everything has added protein. So like, I have, after this, I'm making, it's a mug cake, but it's a high protein one. So it's 28 grams of protein, but it's also a cinnamon roll cake, which listen, man.
My prediction. So protein is the new, like,
yeah.
What was the thing before protein for, like, we've inserted this into everything because this is the new, like, in chic thing.
Fluoride? No.
Fluoride? No.
Chia seeds?
Not the actual foodstuffs, but like the thing where it's like, this has added blank.
quinoa, which is spelled quinoa, so everyone could go shit themselves for all I care. Okay, quinoa. No, what's with everything? Well, yeah. I mean, there's
I can't remember,
chicken,
but like
blackened chicken, blackened fish, blackened everything. I don't need that in my life. Just calm down. Just grill the chicken.
okay. Again, not that like if someone in the comments can enlighten me, but my prediction is the backlash to the additive protein and everything is going to be fiber and everything, and we're going to have shit your pants summer, whenever that is.
Oh, I love it.
Gluten free. Thank you. That's the thing.
Gluten free. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, hey, if also, so if you Kelly Zemnikis.
Mm-hmm.
So Kelly was telling me how she developed a peanut allergy, and over the course of a few, peanut allergy. So, well, over the, I think, I don't remember the years. I think she said it was quite a few years, but like it's been 15 years since she developed it, and now she's no longer allergic to peanuts because like her doctor's like, okay, so this is what we do, because it was like a mild allergy. I'm like, yeah, you just got to overcome it. There was another girl who found a book from the like the 50s or something, and it was like, oh yeah, if you shit yourself every time you drink milk, what you need to do is drink milk for 2 weeks and then your body will figure it out. And she was like, no, that can't be right. 2 weeks, no more diarrhea.
Interesting.
Yeah. Just all you have to do is just hardline dairy for 2 weeks and you'll shit yourself into health.
I don't have any of those, but like since I turned 30, stop it. Since I turned 30, I get the seasonal allergies when I didn't used to. And I was like, did this come with the wedding ring or something? Because I didn't used to have this before I got married. It turns out when, like, as you enter new decades, things just start to happen. Like in your 30s, typically is when people get like worse allergies to something. And your 40s is usually when you start having problems with dairy. So that all kind of fits, I think.
Well, it's weird. So a couple of my siblings have bad allergies. 2 of us, so out of 5, 2 of us do not, and 3 of us do have allergies. Okay. And they were really bad. But then also 3 of us are colorblind, like not severely, just red green. Me and my sister are not colorblind, which is hilarious. But like weird stuff like that, where like seeing it in action. Christmas,
like you go to somebody's house for Christmas, and you're like, "Hey, does this all look the same?"
every year, and you know those circles made up of circles with 2 numbers, like it'll be a 2 and a 7 or 2 and a 9, and I'm like, you can't see what number it is. Be like, no, I'm like, ha, your eyes are shit. And then it was schizophrenia shows up when you're 25%. I didn't know that, Jim.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. I could beat all millennials with just a peanut butter cookie. I think that's more like people associate that more with like Gen Z, because like apparently, and I know this only like talking to the old head teachers at my school, they stopped allowing like peanut butter and stuff around like 2010, 2009, like around the beginning of Obama's term, was like no more peanut butter,
which is insane. That made things immediately worse, just to be clear. But go on.
I think that also had to do with Michelle Obama's like healthy eating initiative that she did, which mixed results apparently, but
peanut butter is good for you. I don't.
Yeah,
like,
it is. That's
great for you, but it's actually that's the that's the same shit where people are like, pizza's a vegetable, and you're like, what the fuck are you on about? Like that's French fries, that counts as a vegetable. No, it doesn't. Hey, I'm a big fan. Do you think we could do a fart on live show support for the troops? God bless you and God bless the troops. So it's more likely than it has ever been in history, but I like to only fart. I only fart on a toilet because I'm
got those good acoustics.
Well, no, I'm progressively worried about shitting my pants. We've discussed this on this show many a times. It's the whole idea that, like, I say you shit your pants and then you stop shitting your pants. That's when you become an adult. And then you start shitting your pants again, and that is when you're a senior citizen. Mm-hmm. And a couple weeks ago, I gambled and lost, and I was like, hey, I'm not like, I didn't have to change my pants, but I did have to change my underwear, which, technically that still
like
counts.
The fart is too wet.
Yeah. If you don't have to change your underwear, it doesn't count. But if you have to change your underwear and not your pants, it's still better. But like, I've had situations where I had to change my pants, and then I'm like, what a horrible human being. Like, it's just absolutely. So I would not fart on camera unless I had a fart coming. And even then, like, I have a whole recipe. There's a bit I do about it that helps people understand how medically not to shit your pants. Actually, do a rub and tug to support the troops. I mean, I'm not going to do the tugging.
Yeah,
probably not the rubbing either. But
also, never mind. I'm not doing that.
Sure. Smart.
I asked Katie what hers was, and she gave me a very interesting answer, which is the Titanic, the sinking of the Titanic.
That checks out. I get that.
Yeah, and she goes, when I was 6, I could do like an 8th grade level report on the sinking of the Titanic, like the timeline of how everything happened. Important people who were on the boat, John Jacob Astor, all those folks, and like.
What about the last minute replacement of the Titanic with another boat just for the insurance claim?
Or the drunk guy who like stepped off the bat, like he was one of the last people off the boat. Was he got wasted on all the kitchen cooking sherry, and then as the stern was sinking, he just kind of casually steps off into the water, and because of all of the alcohol he drank, it kept him alive long enough to be rescued.
I love that for him. That's fantastic
because it constricts your blood vessels.
Toronto is the capital of rub and tugs. I've heard that. Never been to a rub and tug in Toronto. I don't know. When debt to ratio gets to 150, I'm bailing off this Titanic. Bro. That's a real thing.
Yeah,
we're all North America as a whole is in that situation where we're going. We're still going. All right. Let's keep going. That's fine. Yeah. It's I'm ready to bounce, but
I feel like that's another good like Tism thing that kids get into, which is like a timeline of an event. Like it's the same kind of people who get into true crime later in life, I think.
Yeah.
Because it's like, here's where the murderer was with this thing.
Yeah, and then you're like, what shall I discover with my magical brain? Yeah. Like, also, I was in grade 6, 7, where a close friend of mine, Bill Lang, I've known him since grade 6. I think it was grade 7. He got deep into JFK. So that was let me see.
That's another great one, JFK assassination. The Magic Ludi.
JFK movie was 1991. Yeah. So that's right in line because it was 92 was grade 7. He did so many presentations about JFK, like back and to the left, back and to the left. Like there was so much detail. We would go to his house and just watch that stuff. Any interest in the Artemis launch on Wednesday? I'm very interested.
Not really in my case. I don't really care. Come here.
Hey, just so you know, that's called autism masking because space travel is 100% of his life. The only reason he doesn't want to is because of his radical views on politics. That's why he's like, I don't want to do anything about it, which is like, who cares, man? It's space.
I was more an ocean kid than a space kid, right? There's space, the ocean, the jungle, like certain things that you get obsessed with. The Serengeti / like just, jaguars and big cats and
I've never been interested in the jungle. I like forest. Ocean scares me a lot.
Mm-hmm.
The ocean.
I remember learning about the coelacanth when I was a kid, and I was like, "What the fuck is that?"
Which one's the coelacanth?
Coelacanth is the big fucking fish that we thought was extinct until like the 20th century. Like it was, I believe, like bones were discovered in the 1800s, and then we discovered an alive one later.
Coelacanth.
Yeah, coelacanth. Coelicanth. Oh no, they're not a coelacanth, coelacanth.
It's the coelacanth, but pronounced like an Australian. Coelacanth. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a huge ass fish, bro.
Yeah. So let's see. We discovered it in the 19th century. Were believed to have been extinct at the end of the Cretaceous period. That's another one. Like I mentioned dinosaurs before, but like the different period, Triassic, Jurassic, whatever.
And then
there's too many names.
When there were no people. Okay, no Starbucks.
Yeah.
Pre-Starbucks, post-Starbucks. That's fair. Yeah.
And then in 1938, we discovered a live one off of South Africa. So for almost 100 years, you're like, this is an ancient being. Oh my God, they're still alive. Like, that's crazy. That's gotta feel weird.
Oh yeah. Spartacus 555. Anyone ever noticed we are not on the same plane anymore ever since CERN played with? Oh yeah, no, 100%. We've done episodes on Mandela effect, like how there's more and more and more and more and more and more and more, and like they get weirder, and it's very much like I don't remember that way, and like down to the monocle on the Monopoly guy, which is it's very, they're like, no, monocle was on Mr. Peanut, and you're going, okay, like I see it kind of, but not like there's a lot of weird stuff happening. There's no question. Fish are gross, looking at us with those dead soulless eyes.
We did an episode on Mandela effects a few weeks ago. Look for the thumbnail on YouTube where it's like Pikachu with and without the black spot and Curious George with and without the tail. Yeah, that's us.
Yeah. This is the thing, is the problem. See, I don't mind anything about the forest and the jungle, not my forte, but I was mostly fat for most of my life. So I'm like, where it's too hot, yeah, no thanks, I'm not going there. Whereas forests are never hot. They're a perfect temperature all the time, all year round.
The canopy keeps the sun off. I feel like
if there's snow, that insulates you. The forest is the perfect place, just so everyone knows.
Now I'm just thinking of the Pine Barrens episode of The Sopranos.
Yeah, absolutely.
Still my favorite.
Is that where they kill the interior decorator?
Yeah, like they kill him, or like they think he's dead. They go to dump his body, and then he wakes up and like hits one of them and runs away. And they're like, and then they're stuck there for the rest of the episode. Is they're trying to?
He killed 16 Slovakians. Yeah. He was an interior decorator. His place looked like shit. Which is the funniest shit. Climate change is a hoax. That's the problem. It's not. Climate change isn't the hoax. It's the fact that all the information isn't being exposed, and also human interaction with the climate is we're only taking information from while there's been humans, which is insane because humans are this much of history. So the climate changes regardless of our interaction with it or not. And whether the earth will heal or not, still to be seen. It is very much no. I like this topic.
Not between you and I mean you and the commenter.
Yeah. But that's why it's not. Hey, trust me, nothing makes sense. Everything is weird. Whatever you think is true is probably true, except for flat earthers. They were never right. The best part about conspiracy theories. But like this is the thing is the learning about science and stuff, I think was also fun. But it was like, okay, well, if I'm a scientist, can I make money? Like that was my thing. Hold on. Can I be rich if I do science? And they're like, not really. And I'm like, oh, then why would I do science? They're like, well, there's a need for it. I'm like, get fucked.
I loved science until I found out math was involved, and then I'm like, nope, not my thing anymore. I'll just analyze books. Like,
well, can you imagine doing science in the time of people where you're like, we found this stuff, we don't know what it does, so you just got to test it. That way, you're a scientist now. Like, whereas now it's like, oh, we know exactly what this does, and in 70 years it's going to kill you, but we need you to paint it onto these little numbers, and you're like, oh, okay, that sounds good. Nope.
Yeah,
there's a whole bunch of ladies that are angry about that.
Or Francis Bacon going out in the snow and putting snow on a chicken because he's like, if we freeze it, this will preserve it, and he was right. And then he died of pneumonia. So it's like, okay, good job, Francis Bacon. You're dead now. Like,
yeah, no, it is. You mean trust the science? Listen, that's the problem. Is you have to figure that out, right? Like that's why it's so important. Like the biggest attack on right now is the attack on common sense and critical thinking, right? Which is one of those things that I'm hoping is coming back. I'm hoping it's cyclical and it comes back eventually.
Yeah, and like
it should, but
that also goes with the whole like anti-intellectualism stuff that is rather prevalent in the internet age. If someone can get rich by convincing people to buy bottled water, you can believe that. Yeah, that's true.
Oh, but the bottled water. So I live in Ontario, Canada. Everyone, which if you look up Nestle water bottling plant in, I believe it's in Elora.
They're the fucking worst. Yeah.
They're the worst human beings since
pick a Nazi.
Oh no, worse than them.
Yeah.
Like Eve. Can we say Eve? Like she's the one that got us into this. Let's call it her. Let's do that. Like it's yeah, then you know what happened with Nestle, and realistically, Nestle is getting our water for free and then selling it back to us at an exorbitant amount. Which,
and they
hey, why is that happening? It's a good question.
Yeah, and in areas with less safe water sources, they steal all that water, and then people have to make baby formula with not good water, and then their babies fucking die because of Nestle. Yeah. No. That's no.
Hey, no more bottles from us. Oh, listen. You know what the only problem is with this is that your alternative is what? Dasani? That's not water. Aquafina? Definitely not water. Smart water? No, thank you.
I mean, on paper it should be you carry a water bottle, but like in the US, and I'm not sure about Canada, but at least the US, like a lot of people are like, you don't drink from the tap. Everyone gets a water filter, and in Europe, that's definitely not the case. It's not needed.
No. Hey, clean water should be a priority amongst everyone, and the problem is it's not, right? And that's the people thinking that, like, hey, the CEO of Nestle was like, clean water is not a human right, and you're like, yeah, that guy should be burned at the stake. And when I say burned at the stake, I don't mean figuratively. I mean any other CEO who thinks clean water is not a human right should be televised from the Vatican of him being put on a cross, crucified, and then burned alive. I think that's reasonable because he's a bad person. That's probably up there with Judas. Yeah, that's fair.
As we get closer to the end of the episode, I'm wondering, like, in the future, I wonder what it would be for, your Gen Z and Gen Alpha kids, because like the oldest Gen Alpha kids are in like middle school right now.
Yeah.
And like, do they have their little thing from when they were kids? Like Roblox
for sure
comes to mind, but not that I know how that works. But yeah,
I would be my bigger concern, and this is something that I'm sure you're seeing more of, is kids not being kids and not having healthy hobbies or associations and like I have a mixed feelings with the idea of a safe space. I think all spaces should be safe, but I also think you should be capable enough to defend yourself or analyze the situation and say, hey, this isn't for me, and be able to walk out. So, but the thing is, like, hobbies and rabbit holes that you make by your own design and try and learn stuff and things like that kind of stuff was your safe space, because I was in charge of how I learned, how fast I learned, how slow I learned, how involved I was in this universe that I was creating by myself, right? So it's one of those things where, like, there's we're definitely going to see when do you start getting homeschool kids, like the COVID kid? When does that start? Have you started getting kids that were?
So, hang on, I'm trying to do the math right on this. Right now, the kids who are graduating high school we're in middle school, roughly, when COVID happened. So the kids who are entering high school now were in elementary school, which means that they could kind of sort of rebound.
And
I think also, if you were in third grade or below, it was easier to, because for kindergarten through third grade, you're learning to read, like what letters, what sounds, letters, like that kind of thing. Fourth grade on, you're reading to learn. So if you like miss out on that, it's really fucking hard to come back. Just the younger you are when something happens, it's easier to.
Yeah, definitely.
Kids shouldn't get phone at 10 years old. They should get mountain bike. Yes, I agree with that.
100%.
Yeah, like, my kid, if they get a phone at all, is getting a dumb phone until they're like 16.
I think, like pooping your pants, you stop pooping your pants, you get a smartphone. You start pooping your pants again, you go back to the old you get a flip phone that can text message. You don't need the internet. You're fine. That's There was. So this is the thing.
Sorry.
Yeah. No. So I'm Gen X as well, right? And I'm the youngest of 5. So I'm while my age is not is on the border, my experience was very Gen X focused because my siblings, right? So, but that idea was there weren't safe spaces, no, but you were allowed to learn easier. You know what I mean? Like you weren't. Listen, there were always people, and I'll be honest with, I was picked on at times in school because I would ask stupid questions. But the fact is that, you know, I'll be honest with you. I asked how you get Richard from Dick. How do you get Dick from Richard? And a teacher threw me out into the cold, bro. And I'm like, you're a piece of shit. But I got him back later on.
I just wanted to know, man. Yeah, I get it.
I'm like, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense.
I think one upside about, like, you know, you can be annoyed with the education system and like how kids are coddled or whatever. One upside of time passing is that teachers are treating their students a little more like people,
which is good,
than before versus like subjects, if that makes sense. That doesn't mean it's perfect, but it's an improvement. Or like how Gen Z is like more focused on mental health. That's great. That's awesome.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, and when you were saying that whatever, you know, Tism topic that you happen to be interested in, that was your thing when you were a little kid, because you're right, the world is made for adults, not kids. And especially for like modern kids, there's not really like media made for kids quite as much anymore. Most of the good media that you're getting that is made for kids is old kids media.
Yes.
And a lot of it is either like for babies or adults, and there's not really much of an in between. And I feel like teens get left out in the cold. There's not really
like, and on that note, like I really feel like there is a solid market for like adolescent education through YouTube or whatever like that, and just have a channel be like, okay, I'm going to teach you how to do normal shit, like, and just go through, hey, this is how we're going to learn it, you know?
Yeah, and like if somebody was to do that, you'd have to thread the needle in a way where you don't come off as creepy. Like, otherwise you get into Mr. Beast territory and it's creepy. But
bro, I called creepy on Mr. Beast like years ago, and people were like, no, he's just autistic. I'm like, nope. Sorry. It's in those sharp eyes. There's no emotion. It's who was the one who put it up? Hold on, I think it was Erwin. Who was like, fish are gross. Look at us with those dead soulless eyes. 100%. I would call people out. I'm like, oh, you got shark eyes. Where he was like, yeah, there's no life behind there. Only
black eyes, like a doll's eyes.
Black buttons. Education has gone the door to include absolutely. Well, and that's the worst part is that healthcare has gone out because we became stupid. And the fact is we stopped caring for ourselves and taking care of our own health and being proactive in that fashion, because let's be honest, we were burdened down and told to become tax revenue. That was it. Since the age of cell phones, people are dumber. Oh, that's
yes and no. Gosh. It's that you have access to more information that's not vetted by a certain, like,
I think it's just
the FCC or whatever. So more information equals more bad information also.
But it's also too, you don't have to memorize anything because it's at your fingertips, right? Like, it's a weird thing. I just block American Epstein media. Hey, if you can read books,
great.
I'm trying to work back up to reading books because I'll tell you, I got TikTok brain bad, but you know,
we should get that book that Sarah recommended us last week. What was it called? Dopamine Nation. We should
sure
that and read it.
Let's see that. It's not a bad idea. Let's see if I can find it. Dopamine Nation. I think I'm gonna start listening to books online.
Books? Awesome. Yeah.
Because I won't read them. I might do it like a picture book where I'll follow along and read, be like, oh, okay, yeah, these are words. That's it. But especially using chat. 100%. It's all to confuse them out. No, that's the problem, is becoming self-sufficient and healthy is the government's worst nightmare. And that's in actuality the best way to fight any sort of quote unquote oppression. Become knowledgeable and become self-sustaining. Those are the two things that will make your life better and make you greater in the long run. So
So for people listening, what is your Tism topic? What was the thing you were super into as a little kid? Leave it in the comments. We're curious to see what you are into. And I'm gonna go see if I can find that the thing with the funnel web spider. Show it next week.
Just read it online to people. Absolutely. No, hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. No. Diet or zero or smart. No, I don't drink anything. Who's got the good? Jesus.
I assume they meant the drug. Kids need hands-on teaching. You're right, and we do need to bring back like wood shop, auto shop, home ec. Like that should be a thing. And drafting, in order to do that, you need to fund schools better. Anyway, what?
Plumbing, welding, construction. Like, in all honesty, I think that every school, anytime something breaks, there should be a team on site of students learning to fix it and learning how to do it to maintain the school itself. It's a whole thing in Japan where all the students use the last 10 minutes of their day to clean up their workspace. They don't have janitors. It's all done by the students. You're like, that's how it should be.
What's it called? Like more rural schools will still have like auto shop and stuff like that because a lot of job opportunities is like blue collar work. So for example, at my school, the seniors, most of them are done with their high school credits except for English. So they have nothing to do for half of the day. And at more rural schools, like they give like here the back half of the day, go work on your parents' farm or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's fine. At my school, there's nothing for them to do, and we can't let them go because this is LA. So they're just bumming around being assholes. Like we gotta give them something to do.
Boy Scouts were good for that.
That's true.
Hey, 100%. Boy Scouts were good until they weren't. Also a problem, right?
Yeah.
And once again,
Katie and I saw the Beetlejuice musical, and like the Act 2 opener, which is always like stupid, is this Girl Scout going to sell cookies at the house that Beetlejuice has now taken over with Lydia. So she's like, I'm going to sell some cookies, and then he scares the shit out of her and she runs screaming. Like that's the opening song. It's great.
Absolutely. It's fantastic. I actually like you guys. I hope your channel crushes it. You're good sports.
Yes.
Hey,
please.
Smarty Jones. That's all we're trying to do. Yeah.
Thank you, Smarty Jones. Please leave a comment or leave a like or subscribe to Generation Dan. You can follow at which one is Dino? Look at the names.
Here, quick reveal.
There you go. There you go. So you can follow us at Generation Dan wherever fine social medias are found. New episodes of our show are every Friday on whatever podcast app that you have. Our last episode was about Gen Z and dressing for work with Sarah's Still Here, also known as Sarah, the rabid corporate shill, which is like Dino's Wario, I guess.
That makes complete sense. Absolutely.
Yeah. You can also follow me at Atlas Novak wherever those fine social medias are found, like TikTok. I mostly do sketches about what it is to be a teacher, but it's spring break, so I'm probably going to do other shit for a week. So cool. Or follow my other show at Nexus at Night on YouTube, Fridays at 7 p.m. You too, sir.
There you go. Dino, your cupboard is over. No, I'm Dino. I don't have a cupboard behind it. Those are his cupboards. That's Atlas.
Yeah. Also, that's part of the aesthetic.
Yeah, exactly. It's called being open and untethered. I am Dino the Genetic Marvel. I do mostly food stuff and just adventures and random experiences that I'm having throughout the world. We do a lot of political stuff. Who is it? Smarty Jones. You'll probably like some of our other shows. I do morning motivation rant on Mondays and on Thursdays, usually at 10:30 a.m. Then we do a motherfucking Mondays on Upside Down Studios. Also, it's a little more aggressive of a crowd on Upside Down Studios, but you will be entertained. So come check that out. That's motherfucking Mondays. Then we have movie night. We're doing we did Missing in Action last week for Chuck Norris. So we're doing Missing in Action 2 tomorrow night. And then we have a mental health episode, which is all dudes talking about mental health stuff. So I'm 58, look 45, and love life. Always did. As you should. I'm 45 and look like I'm 900. That's okay. Atlas, are you from LA or just like the hat? Oh, no. I'm Dino. I lost a bet. That's why I'm wearing the LA hat. He's Atlas. He's in LA. I'm in Toronto. RIP Chuck Norris. I'm sarcastic, but it's a suburban really Philly kid. Okay. Hey. Yeah. That's all right. No worries. Right, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day. We're going to bounce and I'll be back tomorrow. I'll see you guys then. Later. Bye.